Hey everybody, Dr. Greco here. Welcome to Ministry in a Minute. So we're going to talk about a very important topic this week. Why is there suffering and pain in this world? Now, the reason this is so important, quite simply, is that these are the kind of questions people are asking. This is a topic that comes up in one of the weeks of my Christian worldview class when we talk about the fall of man, and students across various age and religious backgrounds struggle with the fact that God is good, but the world is not. And if God is good, why is there pain and brokenness in the world? Now, there are a lot of biblical answers to that. Obviously, the primary answer is sin. Many, if not all, if not most of our problems are caused by our own sin. We seek after self. And when we seek after self, we put ourselves in a position where we reap what we sow. You know, I know that karma is not necessarily a Christian concept, but it says in Galatians that God won't be mocked. Make no mistake, a man will reap what a man sows. And so when we make decisions based on self, we get results based on the decisions we've made, and they're not always the things God has planned for us. And so there is brokenness and hurt and pain in the world. This is the original sin. Eve wanted to know what God knew, and after she did, life became difficult, not just for her, but for Adam and for all of us. In fact, it's considered Adam's sin because it was his job to remind her to stay on God's path. So, the question we're going to ask ourselves this week is, what do we do about that? I believe the solution for sin is obviously the gospel. It's the cross. But practically, how do what does that look like day to day for us? Well, I think it's pretty simple. In Matthew 8, there's a centurion that Jesus deals with, and Jesus is amazed by his faith. And what his faith centers around is authority. He says, I understand authority, Lord, and you have it. And if we're going to understand why there's pain and suffering in the world and be able to explain that to people, and most importantly, have God use those things to build us up, we need to give him the authority that he's given us. He gave us free will. And essentially the gospel is saying, I'm going to exercise my free will by giving it to you, Lord. You're in charge. You're the king. You're on the throne. I exercise my authority by seeking yours. So, original sin, authority, the primary reason there's brokenness in the world, but we're going to look at a lot of other reasons this week. We'll see you tomorrow for another Ministry in a Minute.